What a breaking news! Meghan Sussex drops a new glimpse of Prince Harry surfing. The world has been caught in another moment of sheer astonishment. In the delicate yet deliberate way that only Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, can command global attention, she pressed a single button on her phone and released to her millions of followers a reel that instantly shattered the rhythm of everyday life. It was not a speech, nor a red carpet entrance, nor even a grand royal ceremony. It was, instead, a breathtaking glimpse of Prince Harry, carving across the turquoise wall of a perfect wave, the kind that surfers dream about but rarely ride. Her post began with words that immediately felt like history. "We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this important message." With that, the world leaned in. Meghan, with her unmatched instinct for timing and cultural resonance, had unveiled something that was not simply a video, but a declaration of joy, vitality, freedom, and love. And at the centre of this declaration stood Prince Harry, framed against the curl of a flawless wave, crouched low on his board, an emblem not only of athleticism but of resilience, daring, and the kind of man Meghan has always seen and uplifted. The image alone could belong to legend. A cobalt wave rolling with pristine symmetry, glassy walls shimmering beneath the sunlight, and Harry, silhouetted inside the barrel, a figure of focus and control. To the untrained eye, it was simply surfing. To those who understand the story, it was far more. This was not just a man on a surfboard. This was a prince who walked away from centuries of rigid tradition, who chose love and authenticity over scripted duty. And now, with Meghan's subtle yet powerful platforming, Harry appeared again not as an exile, but as a conqueror, conquering not courts or politics, but the raw, eternal forces of nature itself. Each spray of water off the lip of the wave seemed to symbolize the breaking away from constraints, each glide of the board a step toward freedom, each tunnel of water a passage into a new kind of legacy. It takes an instinctive brilliance to know when and how to captivate a global audience. Meghan has proven time and again that she understands the rhythm of culture like few others. Where others flood feeds with noise, she punctuates silence with rare, carefully chosen glimpses. And it is precisely that scarcity which gives her posts the quality of treasure. In releasing Harry's surfing footage, she did not caption it with essays or explanations. Instead, she let the image speak, heightening its impact with a whimsical yet telling symbol. The fox. The fox, a creature of cleverness, agility, and grace, perfectly mirrored Harry in this moment, a man of instinct, darting and weaving, surviving against the odds, living freely despite the hunters. Meghan did not need to explain this metaphor. Her audience felt it instantly. Within minutes of Meghan's post going live, the internet was ablaze. Social media timelines became saturated with reposts, commentary, and expressions of admiration. Surfing professionals marveled at the prince's technique, noting the balance of his stance and the courage of riding such a formidable wave. Fashion commentators applauded the sleek simplicity of his black surfsuit, remarking on how Harry managed to embody understated elegance, even while drenched in salt water. But it was the everyday admirers who captured the heart of the response. He looks free, truly free. This is the Harry Meghan saw all along. Royalty is not about palaces, it's about courage, and this is courage. In living rooms, offices, classrooms, and cafes around the globe, conversations turned to the real. People who had never touched a surfboard found themselves inspired by the sight of a man so visibly at peace with himself, so visibly alive. For centuries, monarchy equated masculinity with stoicism, with formality, with duty-bound silence. But Harry has been rewriting that script, and Meghan has been the co-author of this transformation. Surfing, in this context, becomes more than sport. It becomes metaphor. Here is a man unafraid to bend low, unafraid to fall, unafraid to ride forces larger than himself, because he trusts in skill, in instinct, and in the possibility of rising again. This new image of masculinity does not dominate nature, but partners with it. It does not cling to rigid posture, but flows with adaptability. It does not silence emotion, but expresses it, in spray, in speed, in the joy of movement. From humanitarian work to podcast episodes, from fashion statements to rare Instagram drops, Meghan has mastered the art of creating narrative. Each public move, no matter how brief, becomes a thread in a tapestry she and Harry are weaving before the eyes of the world. This tapestry tells a story of liberation, love, and leadership by example. And today, with this surfing glimpse, she added yet another dimension: vitality. It was as though she was saying, not only do we fight, not only do we speak, not only do we endure, but we thrive. We play, we laugh, we live. Surfing itself carries deep cultural resonance. Born in Polynesia, embraced in Hawaii as an expression of spirituality and joy, and carried worldwide as a universal emblem of harmony between humanity and ocean, surfing is not merely athletic performance. For Harry to be seen riding waves taps into this lineage of connection, freedom, and transcendence. He is not appropriating the tradition but entering into it with reverence, guided by the waters, not commanding them. In Meghan's hands, this moment was framed as more than recreation. It was a message. Every time Meghan chooses to showcase Harry, there is love encoded in her choice. To some, it was simply a fun reel. To others, it was a message from Meghan to the world. See him as I see him. She has always been Harry's fiercest defender and most eloquent admirer. In showing him surfing, she showed him not as tabloid caricatures would paint him, but as the man he truly is: agile, daring, joyous, and free. It was not just a husband on a board. It was love, caught on film, projected onto millions of screens. In a world oversaturated with celebrity content, where endless selfies and orchestrated red carpets numb the senses, Meghan's glimpse cut through. It mattered because it was rare. It mattered because it was honest. It mattered because it embodied freedom. And it mattered because the story of Harry and Meghan has never been about blending into expectations. It has always been about breaking through them. And so the reel ended as suddenly as it began. Just 15 seconds of film, just a man and a wave, yet the weight of it lingered far longer than most state occasions. What Meghan shared was not simply a clip of her husband surfing, but a parable of freedom, resilience, and the unshakable joy of choosing one's own path. In the curl of that turquoise wave, the world saw Harry not as a runaway prince or a royal exile, but as a man who had learned to ride the storms of life with grace, balance, and fearless courage. Meghan's quiet framing of the moment turned it into something unforgettable: a love letter disguised as a glimpse, a declaration disguised as play. The wave crashed, the spray dissolved, but the image endured. Harry crouched low, alive in the barrel, a symbol of movement, of flow, of liberation. It was Meghan's reminder to the world that legacy is not only written in castles or courts, but also in the simple act of living fully. What they have built together, a life of choice, authenticity, and love, continues to ripple outward like the ocean itself, unstoppable and eternal. To all my curious Sussex family, thank you all for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and put a comment. Bye-bye, see you then in the comments section and in our next episode.